Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Force, and here today we will be checking out Hand of Fate. This is a deck building game that also combines elements of choose your own adventure. There's some action combat, although it is pretty simplistic, and some sort of not puzzle solving, but maze navigating is something else that's in this game. It's a very interesting sort of combination of different titles, and what I want to do here today in this video is just run you through the basics to give you a good idea of what this game is all about. So we're going to take a look at story mode. The game does also have an endless mode option, but that could take anywhere from 15 minutes to 50 minutes. I don't really know. It depends on how well we do. So I'd rather sort of take you through a set event in the story mode. So what we're looking at here is basically the different chapters. Now I made my way through the first chapter, I'll call it. I defeated the first boss in this tier, and that unlocked a special benefit for me of the goblet, which increases my counterattacks, stuns, starting gear, and then also increases the strength of bandit and skeleton enemies and gives bandits a new type of attack. Now we're making our way through the second tier here, and the boss that we'll be fighting against is the King of Dust. And now the King of Dust has a special curse applied to his event. It's the compensation curse. So whenever a player finishes a combat, I will be losing 1 gold per 15 health. So the story is told sort of as you make your way through and you fight these different opponents. So far it's been pretty... I mean, all it's really been is sort of an explanation of the different bosses. I haven't felt much of a through line, but I also might have not just been doing that good of a job of following the story. There's a little bit of lore for every one of the bosses you come against. So here for the King of Dust, he broke his faith with the king and country long ago and has made himself rich and powerful through the judicious application of cruelty and terror outside of law for decades. So that's the story of the King of Dust. Let's go ahead and select him. All right, and now we get to go into the deck builder. So what'll happen is as you progress your way through the story, you will unlock new cards, and then you can use those cards to construct a deck as you move forward and go into new encounters. So first there's the equipment deck, and basically these are all the different cards that I will be taking with me as we try to fight this boss. So there's equipment, trinkets, armor, artifacts, which will give you little benefits for combat, and each one of these cards, if I draw into it, I will gain access to it as we make our way through this boss fight. And then up top, these are also other cards that I have access to, but aren't in my current deck. But if I wanted to, for example, I could add time heals into the artifact slot, and then I just have to get rid of another artifact. So let's take time heals and let's get rid of the healer's ring or whatever. So there you go. So now we're at 22 of 22, and we will go ahead and back it up. Now there's also an encounters deck. Again, you can see I've unlocked about a third of it, or a third of the total cards available, and we have 22 at our disposal. Now the encounters are different things like you can get benefits, like for the charity. If I come across this guy, I'll just click on him. It says I encounter a priest wandering along the road. Now basically what I can do is I can donate food to him, and then he's going to give me a buff. And then there's also encounter cards like ambush, in which I will be attacked by enemies, but it's good because I can get rewards from doing that. All sorts of different as it says, encounters or events. There's also the maze of traps. If I come across this, I will have to make my way through a maze, and if I'm successful, I get a reward at the end. So all these different cards that you'll have a chance of coming across when we make our way towards the boss encounter. It's all kind of confusing though, unless you actually see it for yourself. So rather than going through all these different cards and trying to explain to you what each one of them does, let's just see them in action. So we're gonna go ahead and start this encounter against the King of Dust. So this is the card dealer, and he's going to hand out, those are the 4 ambush cards, and then the 5-6 dust cards, and then also some benefit stuff like shops that we could come across.
Your currency is spent, your memories tattered and torn, formed into mere cards for us to play with.
All right, so all of the cards that we selected, as well as the dealer, he's got cards that are sort of locked in place, and they are randomly given to us on this board here. And then basically I'm gonna move from one card to the other card, and we just see what we get, and we deal with it as we make our way through. So let's see what this first card is. A helpful priest. Okay, so this is the priest. Now what I can do is I can give him some food. So it's going to say, you meet a wandering priest who greets you in a friendly manner. And I can say, yes, I'm going to donate to you half of the food that I currently have. So that's going to bring us from 9 down to, I think it's either 5 or 4. And then we are also given a randomization. We can either just be successful, or we can be hugely successful. Let's see what we got. We just get regular success. Okay. So what will happen here? He says a few words in a language of old religion and gently touches your forehead. It is done. And we get to draw 1 blessing card. So now we're going to be randomly given a blessing card. And we get the Wrath of Gods. At the beginning of every battle, the old gods throw down thunder upon one of your enemies. That's fantastic. So now at the start of every battle, God's going to smite one of my enemies. That's great. Wonderful. I'll take it. Okay, next card. The Twisted Canyon. Okay, so the Twisted Canyon, this is an opportunity to get a weapon. I see a weapon glinting in the sunlight, lying next to a skeleton at the bottom of a canyon. And I get to decide, do I want to leave it and continue forward, or do I want a chance trying to get it? So I'm going to say I'm going to climb down to retrieve a weapon. So we've got a 1 in 3 chance here, or a 3 out of 4 chance to be successful. And I'm successful. I always choose the one on the left. I try to be consistent with my picking. Okay, so wonderful. Now I have the weapon, so I get to draw 1 weapon card. Let's see what we get. We get the Desperate Measures weapon. So it's going to be 32 damage, and the mace inflicts more damage the lower health the wielder is. So the more damage I take, the more damage I'm going to deal. So wonderful. And this is our current weapon. It's just a regular axe that deals 25 damage. So we're going to say yes. I'm going to replace my current weapon with that weapon card that we just drew. Okay, let's keep on going. Goblins. Oh no. So goblins will come, and if you get this card, they steal stuff from you. So you basically have to get it back. So one night you're awakened to find your belongings being rifled through by goblins. As soon as they notice you stirring, they run away with your weapon. They also have stolen some of your food and gold. So I have to defeat them to get this stuff back. We're going to be facing off against 3 goblins is what the card tells us here. So this is going to be the first sort of combat encounter that you're seeing, but this isn't really a good example of a combat encounter because the enemy doesn't fight. These goblin encounters are just me having to smack the goblins with my weapons to get my stuff back. That's it. So whenever you come across a encounter like this, you're going to be put in a little arena. There's the god smiting my enemies. Wonderful. You're going to be put in these very small arenas, and you'll be facing off against, and the number of enemies that you face off against and the type of enemies are all decided by the cards that are drawn. Now this is a set encounter, so it's we're every time we come across this, we'll be encountering these 3 goblins. But when you come across these random encounters, you will be randomly drawn monster cards, and that will decide who you're fighting against, where you're fighting against them, all of that stuff. Wonderful, we killed the goblins, they were dealt with, we got our stuff back, fantastic. I haven't showed you the inventory yet, so let me show you that. This is the inventory of all the stuff we get for each play session. So every time we fight a new boss, everything is reset. We select a new deck that we have a chance to get those different pieces from. I will normally just start off with an axe and a shield, but as you can see in this encounter, because I happened to get a weapon card, I drew into Desperate Measures. Now I have access for this weapon up until we defeat this boss, and then it starts over again as you defeat the next boss. You select a new deck and you have to go through it once more. So there's the equipment here, weapons, armor, blessings and curses. So here is the compensation curse that we have, but at the same time we have this Wrath of God's blessing that we got from that priest. There is also helms that you can get, shields, artifacts, trinkets, and gloves, but we haven't drawn into any of those as of this point. Okay, so let's go ahead and progress to the next card. Whilst enjoying your evening meal at the local tavern, a strange old man takes a seat next to yours. He taps you on the shoulder quite painfully with his wooden staff to get your attention, and you notice that he appears to be a goblin, poorly disguised as a human. So then he says, "My name is Mr. Lionel. If you give me what I need, boy, I will conjure up your heart's desire." Okay, so we can decide to give him gold, but we don't have enough. We can decide to give him the bread from our plate. We can ask him what he needs. I'm going to give him the bread from my plate. He considers the bread seriously before placing it carefully in his coat pocket, seemingly satisfied. Okay, so he takes some of that, considers a while, and then he says he knows what I need, and we get to draw 1 food card. So let's see what we get from the food card. We get 3 food. Okay, so that's fine. So we got a couple of food here to replace what we lost. Then before you can stop him, he leaves. Wonderful. All right, get out of here. Next card is going to be Hitch a Ride, so this is going to move us on to the next section. So now We're gonna hitch a ride, and we're gonna be given new cards. We actually have some. Oh no, we were attacked while we were trying to leave town. So we're gonna fight 3 dust and 2 dust. So there's gonna be 5 enemies here for us to fight against, and that is all just based on the cards that we got. So now this is the first real bit of combat. So the combat is very basic. It reminds me of like a simplistic version of sort of the Batman combat, in that there's counters that you can do. I can roll. Thank you for the smite. So whenever the green symbol comes up, which you'll see it in a moment, I can counter with Q. And then I also have the ability to do my own sort of stun attack. I can also dodge. I need to stay away from those damn bushes though, because they do some stuff. So we can like dodge this attack, or we can do the counters with our Q. So when this guy, oh, he's dead anyways. So yeah, that was that. It's very basic, and the combat is always going to be in these tiny little arenas. This is not like a big open world game. You're not doing a ton of crazy adventuring going from one place to the other. It's just if you come across if you draw into enemy cards from an encounter, then you're gonna be ported to one of these arenas and you'll fight randomly what you were dealt to fight against. Okay, so we gain 1 card and we get some more food. So it's gonna bring us up to 10 food, excellent. Okay. Let's go ahead and check this now. An ambush, oh no. So the ambush card, we're gonna be drawing some monster cards. It looks like a single monster card. And let's see what we get. We get a 2 of skulls. So now we're gonna be facing off against 2 skeletons. So let's see, we're gonna be in some whatever arena. All right, this looks like we're by some dock things or whatever. And there's gonna be a couple of skeletons for us to face off against. But this should be no big deal. So we can move around with WASD. Once again, we can do that dodge roll. Oh, the Hand of God is hilarious. I can't believe that. But it's very, very basic. It's incredibly basic. Like, I just hit Q to counter this whenever he does it, and then I can do. Oh, I was about to show you the right-click move, which is like a knockback stun, but the skeleton died too quickly. So, womp womp womp. All right. Now, while searching the area for anything worth salvaging, I realized that one of the opponents was only pretending to be dead. So now I can sneak up and try to kill them. And I'm going to have a 3 out of 4 chance of being successful here. I always choose the one on the left. I just like to stay consistent. There we go. And now we get 3 gain cards. So this will give me a chance to get more food, more health, more gold. Looks like we get to select one card to keep from the armory. So we can choose the Helm of Reflection or Time Heals. Let's get the Helm of Reflection here. Upon reflecting a projectile, the helm creates a small force explosion. That is pretty awesome. And we don't even have a helm right now, so that's going to be awesome. Then we get 10 food, and we get 10 health, which will bring us up to 99. Awesome. So every time we move to a new card, so long as we have food, we're going to gain some health. So I'm going to move to this card, and we're going to go. You can see we went up to 100 health, but we lost 1 food. Now, if you don't have food, then you lose health every time you move. So it becomes a sort of a balance of managing your resources. Not so much here in the early on version of the story mode, but definitely in endless mode, I got to see some of that in action. Now there's a traveling jeweler here. I can choose to go into his shop or not. Now I don't have any gold, but I could sell some of my stuff to get some gold. So let's actually approach the shop because I think we might have some stuff to sell. So now here we have a little shop that we can go up to. And let's see, buy items, sell items. Let's see if we have anything to sell. So we can sell our basic axe. Why don't we do that? Let's sell our basic axe for 4 gold. Okay. Although I don't think we can buy much with that. We'll check the items here. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to buy any items, but there's a few different items that we could buy if we had the gold. But we do not. And there's food. We should be able to buy some food. Yes, we can. So let's buy a single food with the last 4 gold that we have. Wonderful. Since our gold's going to be disappearing anyways because of the curse that we have against this boss with losing gold for all the health we have, it's just, it might as well get rid of it if we have it only for a second. All right, and an ambush. Okay, so let's see. We're going to draw 2 monster cards this time. This is going to be a 4 plague and a 3 of dust. Now the 4 plague are these little rat creatures, and the dust are also always those bandits. So we're going to be 7 enemies total this time, so this should be a little more annoying, although again, one of them are going to get smote by the hand of God. Okay, all of our equipment ready to rock. I like our helm of reflection. That's so good. The helm of reflection looks pretty awesome too. This is the first time I've actually seen it. But yeah, I mean, the combat is nothing special. Like, it's a very, again, it's a very, very like simplistic sort of Batman style combat. Oh, I can't counter that. The red ones that pop up over their heads I can't counter. But the green ones I can. Ah, dodge that. A lot of times it seemed though, like you don't even really have to do the counterattacks. If you dodge, it's just as successful. But you do lose chaining if you don't follow it up immediately with a hit to an enemy. So notice at the bottom there's like a little chain. The numbers will go up as you're chaining attacks together, but if you mess that up, then you're gonna lose that. This helm of reflection looks so cool. Oh man, that's really cool looking. All right, so there's a guy that's still alive, so we can sneak up, and again, we're gonna have a 3 out of 4 chance to kill them or not. So basically everything you've seen so far, this is how the game plays out. Cards are randomly dealt to you. You make your way from one card to the next card, and then you sort of take your chances and decide, oh, we get to draw one equipment. Yes, this is a new art. This actually, we don't have an artifact. So that's our first one. That's amazing. So let me hop into my inventory just to show you here. So the artifact that we got right here, it allows me to put out throwing knives that will spread out in 8 different directions. So now I can use that during combat. I can press the number 2 and knives will get thrown out in every direction. So that's, I mean, it's supposed to add to the complexity, but even playing in another ambush, holy crap. Even playing in endless mode, the combat is very, it's just so straightforward. It's so simple. Okay, so next encounter. And these little animations at the start, you can just skip them by clicking. Like you'll be able to skip all that stuff. I just, for the sake of showing you guys, for the sake of showing it to you guys, I figured we should keep it up. Oh yeah. I mean, look at that. Anytime I'm facing like a couple of enemies with that hand of God, I mean, I just got lucky, you know. I could have not gotten that hand of God blessing. That certainly is an option. That's made this whole thing just that much more easier. But that's sort of how it works with RNG that's inherent in games like this, in any card / deck based game. I'm not going to replace this healing cap. I like my helm of reflection instead, so we're going to hit no. Okay, time to move to the end of this section, which will give us some sort of a way out. Looks like it's a cave. So we'll click on the cave, and we will exit the cave. Now on to the next section, okay.
Card drawn from your thoughts and your memories. Every card tainted by your view of the world and your single-minded purpose. The same singularity of purpose that brings you here.
I've actually never seen this before, so this is a new event for me. One day, just as dusk gathers, you reach a large country town hosting a traveling circus. Strange sights and stranger smells confront you as you begin to wander between tents and stalls that were once brightly colored, but now are faded and stained with dust. Peasants and nobles alike wander the streets and alleys past wonders and amazements, seemingly. Okay, so there is something about the place that dulls your senses for a while. You forget your quest, forget even the path that brought you to this place. Okay, so we have a chance of success, huge success, failure, or huge failure. We got huge failure. Well, that sucks. So let's see what happens. Sensing a hidden malice about the place, you turn and try to find your way back out of town. You somehow lose your way and end up heading further into the crowds. The mystery of the carnival awaits you. All right. So now we got another random chance here. Huge success. Wonderful. You wander into the Hall of Curiosities. You pass rows of preserved bodies, some born mutants at birth, others simply creatures that you've never seen before. You continue to browse under their lifeless stares. Among ancient devices and broken trinkets, you come across the torn remnants of an enchanted map. Upon closer inspection, you realize it reveals some sort of surrounding countryside. Nice. So does that just let us go? Sometime later, you find yourself standing on the edge of the forest. The sound of the crowds behind you. The day is dawning. But which day is it? Looking back, you see the ruined buildings of the country. So does this, like, what does this do? Is this going to teleport me forward or something? No. Okay, it just shows me the upcoming cards. Okay, so all this does is show me the upcoming cards. So now I know what's happening. So here's the ambush here. One monster card. It's going to be a 6 of dust. Oh, this is going to be a little annoying. Again, we can skip this animation just by clicking. So one of them will get smit. So I'm going to just try to stay in the fight and just hit Q for all the counterattacks, basically. I don't think these guys do uncounterable attacks, actually. So I should be all set. I mean, it's so simple. It's not, I know I've already said that, but I guess the reason I want to say that is because don't come into this game thinking, oh, so it's like a card game with awesome combat, action combat. It's not. It's so it's so basic. I didn't even use my special ability there, which was my throwing knives. I mean, and that was one of the harder, I put in quotes, encounters that we've come across so far. But it's neat. I do find this game interesting because it's a combination of things, and it feels like it feels like an adventure, and everything's been every playthrough that I've had has been sort of new and interesting for me. That's nice. We're gonna replace the light with medium armor. So I have enjoyed what I've played so far, but I can see it getting stale, and I'm a little nervous that I'm about a third of the way through the campaign after only a couple of hours. Okay, so here's a treasure chest. While exploring the dungeon, you see a treasure chest down the hall. So we decide to approach or leave, and then it's going to decide if we get success or failure. Yeah, I'm a little bummed, but on the same token, since this game does have an endless mode, I don't know how much I can complain about it. There's some poisonous gas. Let's see if we escape it. I don't know how much I can complain about the length when there is an endless mode. And all the story really has seemed like so far is you just get, is you just get some information about the bosses, and that's basically it. So here's a new event that I haven't been to before. Asleep at the inn. While sleeping in the inn, you jolt awake to find a bandit rifling through your belongings. You're quick to your feet, weapon in hand. The bandit laughs, clearly drunk. Easy there, princess. Spare an apple, would ya? There's a good lad. He stands unsteadily, clutching a stolen apple and some coins. Nope, gonna attack him. Oh, uh-oh. Oh no, there's a whole bunch of bandits now. But yeah, I've enjoyed it, if for no other reason than its novelty. I would say that's the biggest thing, and that it's a new experience. It's an experience that I haven't played a game like this before. Not to say that a game like this doesn't exist, but I have not played a game like this before. There's my little throwing knives ability, just so that you guys can see. And nice, the hand of God took out the one guy in the back. So yeah, you can see we're in this little house. Like, we've never been in this sort of a section before, and there's a few of them. I've also seen them repeating, but yeah, there's a few different little arenas that she'll get tossed into. And we'll just keep going through. I at least want to show you the completion for us to get to the final boss in this area. So we're gonna just go quickly through this stuff now because I want to. Here's a traveling tinkerer. He sells some stuff, but we're just gonna pass it by. That's just another shop, essentially. And a forest escape. So we're gonna take our way through the forest path. I'm gonna assume, oh my gosh, 2 boss fights. It's gonna be 12 enemies? Is that what this is telling me here? Let's skip the animation. It is, holy crap. All right, I'm gonna go in the middle and then toss out the throwing knives. That did not hit as many people as I hoped it would. Try to counter these throws. If I counter the distant throws, it's really good because of my helmet. Although I think it's just a chance to do the, I don't think it's guaranteed that it'll apply. Those throwing knives are annoying. And can I do I think I can do my thing again. Yep. Look at that bounce. Oh, it's got a really short cooldown. Holy crap. I didn't realize that. That cooldown's almost non-existent. Let's just keep spamming this then. I love it. This cooldown is almost non-existent. All right, wonderful. Bandits destroyed. Bandits destroyed. So just once more to reiterate, everything that you've seen me, like I've got this cool Helm of Reflection, I've got this this artifact that I just discovered I can like spam nonstop. That all gets reset as soon as I finish this boss, which it looks like it's going to be right around here. So it looks like we're going to be fighting the King of Dust in this section. So this is like the final leg of this particular chapter of this boss fight. This is it. There aren't going to be any more escapes. I won't be going through any more sets of cards. This is the last set. Let's go, scrubs. Hand of God, smite you. I'm just gonna keep spamming this. This seems a little overpowered. I'm not gonna lie. This is so good. This is so good. Oh man. Oh man. Talk about abuse. Okay, we get some health. Thank you. I'll try to find the bandit king. Here's the maiden. So the maiden will give us benefits. I will ask for longer life, and longer life is going to give me more max health. So now up to 105. Thank you, maiden. This is a maze of traps. Excellent. I don't know if we've seen a maze yet, have we? Anyways, this is a maze. So besides the enemy encounters, this is the other, quote, gameplay that you can come across, and that are these mazes. So you got tossed down in the maze, and there's different things you got to worry about. So I think these are spike shooters, so I'm going to roll through. And then, oh shoot, roll through again, roll through again. This just goes around slowly, so we can just go like that. These things will shoot. Ah! That's like that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, here we go. Go this way. Wait till that thing shoots out. Ouch. Didn't know that was gonna happen. No! Stop running into stuff, Dennis. Come on. Damn it all the frick. Alright, I lost a lot of health there. Hopefully we get a nice reward at the end of this little maze of traps. So yeah, that's the other type of gameplay that you can encounter. 20 gold. And even the gold I don't carry over. The gold is only used to purchase stuff at shops while here. While going through this boss encounter. That's it. King of Dust. All right, so here it is finally.
Very few are so foolish as to deliver themselves to the king.
So this is gonna be the boss battle, which will just be like all the other encounters, except now there's a boss guy as well. So there's 4 of dust, so we're gonna be facing 4 bandits, as well as the king himself. The King of Dust, oh no. But besides that, it's just like any old regular encounter. Everything else is the same. I hope I don't end up dying after deciding not to take any health, any additional health. I don't expect to though, especially with so few enemies here. I don't know what the King of Dust does exactly, but it looks like he casts a spell. That's not enough to do much to me. I think we've got him dead to rights. Let's stun him there. Oh, gotta watch out for those attacks, Dennis. Let's do our poison thing. I don't know if that's doing anything. He keeps hitting me with that. I'm not dodging it. Gotta start dodging it. There we go. All right, that's the King of Dust. And that's that. Plain and simple. So you just saw a complete run. And now what will happen?
There are many who will be pleased that you have defeated the likes of my lesser king. As for me, I think you have but proven that I must defeat you entirely. A set of new trinkets for you. You will need them, and more.
So now that we've defeated him, we've unlocked cards, and depending on your luck and what events you do, you get to basically pick new cards that you want. So I can choose from all of these. I can choose to get the Life's Limb, and I can choose some different event cards. I can choose this artifact card. I'm gonna try to choose Life's Limb though, and now that gets added to my total deck, and that's it. All the cards are shuffled up. and we do that over again. And you continue your way through, you select a new set of cards for a deck, you decide to go on to the next boss, rinse and repeat. That's this game. So once more, for some closing thoughts, I think I'd say that I find this game interesting. I don't really know how long I will continue to play it, but I like its uniqueness. It's at least a fun little adventure that I've gone through so far. It's pretty inexpensive as well. It's on the lower end. Base price of $24.99. There's a current 20% discount on Steam, bringing it down to $20. But yeah, it's interesting. It's unique. I don't think it will hold my attention for too much longer, but I've enjoyed what I've played so far, and I'm glad that I, at the very least, took a look at it. So thank you guys for joining me here and checking out Hand of Fate. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, I'll provide you guys with a link to the Steam page in the description below. Otherwise, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Keep watching and keep owning.